Hey everyone, this is my Module 3 discussion. So the first question, similarities and differences between scientific management, bureaucratic theory, and Weber's perspectives on authority. Scientific management, the text reads on 111, is management-oriented and production-centered perspective of organizational communication. And Frederick Taylor believed the reason why most organizations failed was due to the fact that they lacked successful systematic management. He wrote, "The best management is true science resting upon clearly defined laws, rules, and principles as a foundation." He believed that any job could be performed better if it was done scientifically. So he took a more scientific approach to a job, cut and dry. This is how it should be done. You should have rules. You should do this, X, Y, Z. This is how it's done. But really, there's more to it than that. So it's kind of similar to Weber's bureaucratic theories. It should be synonymous with order, consistency, reason, and reliability. And in order to aspire to these traits, organizations need to have specific rules and emphasize impersonality. So he's saying with the bureaucratic theory or bureaucracy that it shouldn't be personal, it should be impersonal. So that kind of goes along with the scientific theory that the job should be done scientifically. And then for perspectives on authority, the three: traditional, charismatic, and bureaucratic. The first one is traditional, and it's related to the backgrounds and traditions of an environment. This type of leadership is usually passed down from one family member to another with little regard who is more apt or capable. So again, it's kind of cut and dry. There's nobody is being qualified for this position. It's kind of just being passed down. You're next in line. You're gonna do this job. And charismatic authority is founded on the idea that the best candidate for this position will be the one who can exert authority. So this person is usually charismatic, hence the name, and that's on page 115. So this is a little bit different than the first two, the scientific management and bureaucratic theory, because now we're saying, okay, well, this person can be charismatic and, they can have, more of a personality and they're going to be the ones in authority. And then the last one, bureaucratic, Weber felt that this was the best way to delegate authority in an organization. Bureaucratic authority is founded on set objectives and criteria. So I agree. I think that the person who's leading should have to meet a certain set of criteria and have to be, subjected to that. I do think most of these are pretty similar. The only differences would be in the charismatic authority because that person is allowed to have a personality. So number two, what are the strengths and weaknesses of human relations and human resources approach to management? How are they similar or different? So human relations approach is more about learning that two-way communication is okay and it can be encouraged. Communication between a worker and the manager is a dialogue instead of the manager kind of just talking at the employee and telling them what to do and then they just do it. This human relations approach is now encouraging the two-way communication and allowing the workers to have an open dialogue with the managers, whereas human resource approach, the manager should not be focused on controlling employees or getting them to buy into decisions, which is what the scientific management and human relations is. Instead, the primary task of management should be the creation of a working environment that fosters employee creativity and risk-taking, an effort to maximize and tap into the resources employees bring to the job. That's on page 127. So the strengths, I think, of human resources approach is we're finally at the point where everybody's embracing what an organization should be. So they're figuring out what employees do, what tasks well, who works well together, what employees can bring to the job. And a weakness, I think, would be maybe there's not enough rules at this point, or maybe there's not enough guidelines, or they're kind of like flying by the seat of their pants and figuring out who does the best in what position, and they're trying to create this environment that has employee creativity, so maybe they're just a little too lax. And then human relations, I think the strengths on that is that two-way communication is being encouraged, so they're able to talk, workers are able to talk to the managers, managers are able to talk to the workers in a two-way communication instead of just one-sided, the managers talking down to the employees. And have I had experience in the workplace or other organizations that help you better frame my understanding? So I would say yes. I've worked in places where you don't get to have an open dialogue with the manager. It's what they say goes, and they're not really open to feedback or open to your opinion at all. And then I've worked places where they want to know, they want to know my opinion, and they want to have that, they want to foster that creative team, and they want to let people kind of do their own thing. So I feel like having worked in those two different types of scenarios has helped with this chapter and my understanding of it. And then those two, human relations and human resources, are on page 127. And then going to number 3, motivational theories. So motivational theories from the text are Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Herzberg's motivational theory. Those were the two. And then theory X and Y by, let's see if I can find my page on that. So motivational theories are what motivates people to work. Why do people work? So Maslow's, I feel like, is the most well-known. His 5 needs: physiological, safety needs, belongingness, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. And this theory helps us understand how to motivate workers and why they want more. So, I mean, someone's not just going to work until they have the physiological needs that they have met, which is the basics, food, water, before moving to the next level. I mean, if you have food and water, you're not just going to stop there. I mean, you're motivated to do more at this point. So once you reach the next level, you're motivated to keep working until you get to the next level. So I think Maslow's is the most effective. And then Herzberg's is about motivation hygiene theory. So the motivators are the positive job, or the factors that lead to positive job attitudes, and then the hygiene factors lead to negative job attitudes. So a few motivators are achievement, recognition, advancement, responsibility. And then hygiene is micromanagement, job security, personal life, and work conditions. And that's on page 132. Motivational theories, I think, have helped me. I mean, obviously, when I started out working and going to school, I didn't know about this, but reading about it and actually applying it to my own life and in my own job situation, I think it does, help in what I'm pursuing. It makes sense. So that's interesting. The video is old, like it says, but I don't think that it takes away from the overall information. I think that, first of all those people were really brave for going into the woods. Some of them have never been away from their parents. So I think the biggest thing that I took away from the video is that it relates to human resource approach. So they were kind of building the team up, they were learning teamwork, they were figuring out what each person could contribute to the team to be the most effective in the events that they were doing. So I think the biggest thing that I took away from that was that doing those team exercises and having that, fostering that creative environment and letting people show you what they can bring to the team I think that is honestly the best way to run an organization and to be the most successful. That's all I have. Thank you.